Hey everybody. Hey everybody, I'm trying out this new process for going live. As you know, let me know how it sounds right now. I just got to push out one more thing. I didn't realize just now when I hit stream that I was going to be live. So let me just share it on a couple pages real quick. This is a live session. You can ask any questions, whatever you want to do, and I cover all the local news. Right now I'm sharing it on a couple of my local pages. And that's it. Okay, I got the new format. I think it's going to work. Let me know if you guys have any of the sound issues that were coming out yesterday. I don't think there should be. I think I fixed the problem. But like most things technical, you never know. And my mic's way over here. I probably should put it over here so that you guys can hear me a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get it started. We're going to go to the split screen and boom. All right, this was the first thing that we put out yesterday. It came out, I think, as I was sitting here with you guys going over the news. Sounds good to me. Thanks, Andrea. Happy Thursday, Lisa. All right, so these guys were arrested. There's this individual on the screen that you see, and then this other individual up here with the nice tattoo. By the way, I have tattoos all over my arms. If you're going to get a tattoo, don't get it on your neck. Don't get it on your hands. You're not going to go out and get a good job. Although by looking at his eyes, he's probably high as hell right now. So these two were arrested. They first got the one individual. He basically went into Macy's. He stole a bracelet, took off running, and they nabbed him. Then I think it was the next day. Then they nabbed his accomplice, Yostel Goraro Mata. And now they're sitting there waiting for bail, which will be $7,500. So these guys have some trouble coming their way. If you're just joining, you can type anything in, any comments, any questions on the screen. It is live. I am watching. I'm actually watching via my phone now so that I can do this new system. All right. SPD needs some help trying to find this guy. So let's take a quick watch of the video. I don't think there's any sound to it. Basically, they got the case up there. They identify him. They want help to try to capture the guy. They'll do a close-up of his face. It's still hard to see. I think it's the lighting in that window that makes it so difficult. You know, nowadays, if you're going to steal something, though, why would you go in like this guy? I mean, I guess if he's pretty, you can identify this guy. Why would you go in without a mask or anything? There's cameras everywhere. And it amazes me all the time when I see individuals do this. So if you have any information, contact the SPD. They're looking for that individual. Any help or assistance you can get, great. Again, why would you do that? This is something I put out. We can play it. I'm going to just silence it so we don't have to hear it. Basically, I put out this Francesco video because I was watching news. Okay, we're going to try. I saw something out of Tampa, so I thought, hey, let's do this, but let's make it more of a local. So let's go to the screen that I prepared. This is the Florida sexual offenders and predators. And it's easy to search, and I'm going to put the link right above this video. And I'm going to show you essentially how you do it. What it does is break down the sexual offenders and predators within your area. If you look at this one area of Northport, I forget which zip code I put in there, but they have
to go
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 predators.
Any of these pages, you just have to go to the website. There's a search bar at the top right hand side and just type in, like here, FDLE. Well, type in, you could do FDLE, you could do sexual offender, anything that's within the document, it'll pull it up for you guys. So there you go. This is a SNAP program that I was talking about the other day. We've all seen the long lines, and I think I've sat there saying, you know, are really that many? This was up in Hernando, and I was thinking out loud, is there really that many people that are impacted by Irma that they have to go out and get SNAP? And I don't think so, because we saw lines. Lines were going like around the corner. It was ridiculous. And basically, I think you got a lot of people to take advantage of it. Sort of like the school lunches. You have free school lunch with SNAP and USDA, and so many kids went there that didn't need it, and they were just taking advantage of the situation. What we have to remember is these are our tax dollars, folks, indirectly through the federal government. If you need it, great. Go there. Take advantage of it. This one's coming to the Westville Square Mall, well, we know as Sarasota Square Mall. They're going to be there on the 13th to the 17th from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. for Irma victims in Sarasota and Charlotte County. Manatee's got one up in DeSoto Square Mall.
And you can go there and get signed up for SNAP, food assistance. And there's actually a link out there, which on one of my sites, where you can go out and sign up early, and they said it'll expedite the whole process for you. Affordable housing, this is something I put out first, and they had, what's his name out there?
The push for more affordable housing in Venice is still a major setback.
A local developer who had hoped to build a complex on Knights Trail is now backing out. The reason, not being able to get enough tax breaks for that project. ABC7's Christopher Brantley joins us now live with some of the breaks that the developer had in mind. Christopher?
Impact fees reduced, basically
gone. Good evening. This is the property the developer had hoped to build on, but he was met with some opposition. And as we said, it wasn't so much against the project itself, more to do with some of his requests.
3 of those were against
the announcement came at the end of Tuesday's city council meeting. Mayor John Holland telling council members
Holland's a little upset
Edward
because
Pinto
he was
had backed
involved in
out.
that whole thing. He really wanted it. He originally was pushing with it with a bunch of the corporate leaders out there, and then he backed out once it looked like it may go through. He was going to such levels, this goofball. I got to get him off my screen. This guy was going to such great levels pushing for it that he wanted to spend $10 million to buy land next to it to put up a park for that affordable housing. And that got shut down immediately because people were like, wait a second, we got a park right here, not even a mile away. Why the heck are you going to build that right there? So the great spender of other people's money, that guy right there. This was an interesting video, you guys. I don't see any comments, so if I'm missing comments, I'm hoping they're coming up on the phone. This was interesting, and I told my wife to watch it because we have dogs. And I always thought, and I'll go out, I'll get some flea medicine, and I'll put it on right behind their neck. You guys can probably see Dino over there. He's relaxing. I'll put it behind his neck. And then I have some flea stuff I'll spray on the lawn because the fleas have been bad. I thought it was just maybe I wasn't doing a great job. I didn't know what the heck was wrong here. But they said due to the temperatures, humidities, and all those factors, it's been an extraordinarily hot season, a perfect season for an infestation of fleas. Then they go into talking about what you have to go to the great extremes. It's as bad as getting rid of, let's say, lice. You got to wash all your clothes. You got to spray down all these chairs. And I'm like, wow, I've never done all that for lice and or for fleas. But apparently you have to. And so it was interesting. If you have dogs, you may want to watch it. And I told my wife, I go, is that why we keep getting the sleep problem? It keeps coming back and I can't seem to get rid of them. This next story just is about the damage to the citrus trees, which is it's not huge, but it's a significant piece of our economy. A lot of people rely on it. Right here we have that orange tree place out in Nokomis, Alberton. I think it's Alberton. And so they just touched on that and the impact that Irma had. Obviously, Irma didn't just impact jobs. It didn't just impact our lives. It's impacted beyond that. And this impacts our lives. I mean, you can't have orange juice if you love it. You may lose a job because of that impact. So they cover that. And this is like the second or third report I've seen on that out there. If you're just joining again, you can type any questions, and I'll try to respond. And I'm hoping that it's popping up on my phone because I'm not seeing any, so I'm hoping we're good. I see a couple up there. All right. The next one is Sarasota County Jail. This was interesting. I knew that media sources were going out there because I follow all the reporters. And there was actually 2 reports. I think SNN obviously, and I believe there's another one on there from WWSB. Okay, I didn't share it. And basically, Tom Knight talks about what happened at the Sarasota County Board. He went there and he said, look, guys, we need to do something. We're at capacity. And I think they're just like 6 inmates under capacity as of yesterday. I forget the exact number. If you listen to the reports on there. And Tom said the biggest problem is you got so many drug addicts. And they're going out there, they're getting busted for crimes. They're coming in, they're doing their time. They're going out, and that revolving door is working, and they're coming back in. And he said, instead of going out and spending $80 million on a new building, trying to find the property and going through that whole process, we could just go out and try to find these guys some rehab. when they come into jail, maybe relocate them to another building that's maybe a lower security level, but it's they're confined, and it works on solving the issue of the drug problem that they're going through. And maybe that will stop them from getting out, going back on the drugs, committing another crime, because they're all going to commit crime. And I think I talked about a good friend of ours yesterday who was just arrested for several counts in Inglewood of stealing, and it's due to the drugs. And she's had some issues in her life that just have exploded. And, you know, I don't know if she's lost. I'm hoping she's not lost, but that's what happens. That's where you go out and get your money. You're either going out and you're having sex, you're going out and via prostitution, or you're going out, you're stealing and doing whatever you can for that habit. So it's a sad, tragic story. I can't tell you, being a local here in Venice, how many people I know, and even within my own family, the impact that drugs have had on a life. And it goes beyond the individual on the drugs, folks. It goes to the family, the kids, the husband, the wife. And it's just a travesty what's happening, all from the stem of this opioid. And unfortunately now, a lot of the actions were taken, and I've hit on this before, where Florida stopped it 2 years ago, put in stricter controls. That led to more people doing heroin because the black market went up on the pill for pain pills. Now more people are doing meth because that's cheaper than heroin, which apparently is going up some. And now I fear that this new thing where you got Cigna, they won't write a lot, they won't pay for some prescriptions that are painkillers unless the doctor can come up with extenuating circumstances. You got the push to go from 30 to 7 days. That's going to drive more and more people out into that black market where you got some dangerous drugs. We all know about the fentanyl issue that's out there, and so it's concerning. And I think they're taking care of that aspect, but they're not looking beyond that. How are we going to fix this other problem? The next thing, I got to tell you, this one just made me laugh, and I probably shouldn't have laughed, but what are you going to do? You got to laugh. This is that Jolene's Decorative Rocks, and she's only got a 1.1 rating. I think the funniest one was where somebody put up a chat where she was arguing that she designed and painted the rock with the person that actually painted the rock. Very innovative, but like I told my wife, if you're going to go out and do this, why would you try to sell them in Venice where people are going to call you out for it? And apparently she sold a few. And there's actually now, I think NBC2 picked up a report. I thought I saw something where a bunch of radio stations were talking about it today. Where this individual's out there. Now, she's made claims that she's homeless. Her mom came on and said she's not homeless. She made claims that she was painting the rocks. Now she makes claims that she's not. As you saw that last post, I did not paint all the... Well, she says, I did not paint all these rocks, indicating that she painted some, right? It was interesting and innovative. I can't believe someone's paying $25 for a rock, but... You know, I've seen some worse things out there. Allergies. I'm a huge allergy sufferer, and I came across this, and it was interesting with the debris that's out there. Now, mine's finally been picked up. I think it was picked up a week ago or something like that. But with it all sitting around, how it's accelerating that whole asthma process and sinus process, the allergies out there. So it's amazing that a pile of leaves and tree stems and all that stuff will bring rats, snakes, and now allergy issues. So hopefully yours is getting picked up. I know some people were scheduled as far down as December on the pickup. So hopefully something happening. And again, I'm sorry if you are commenting on here and I'm not seeing it because I only see 2 on my phone. So I'm hoping that I'm on top of this. If not, I'll have to see how to fix that aspect of it tomorrow. This was interesting. A bobcat attacked this poor dog. What was his name? Nelly. You got to be careful out there. I was just driving home the other day last week, and I saw this big coyote that would just chew up my little Dino there. And this Dino is a nut job. The other day, he jumped out of my car going after a rabbit. And luckily, I was stopped. He went flying. I'm like, are you kidding me? But you got to watch your dogs. And that looks like a bigger dog, but he was attacked by a bobcat. And so you got to keep your eyes open. I think a lot of people were asking where at in Northport. And I believe Sierra came on and addressed that. I forget exactly where it was at. So always being cognizant of that stuff out there. The next thing is this is Lucky's. We all know about Lucky's just
earlier
opened
I
up.
sat down with Maggie Mendersky of the Herald Tribune to discuss the opening of Lucky's Market.
It out there.
Now we're in Studio B for this edition of Suncoast Retail. I'm joined by Maggie Mendersky, retail reporter with the Herald Tribune. Maggie, thanks for joining us. Big Wednesday, Lucky's Market finally open at Westfield Siesta Key. You were there. It was packed.
It was packed this morning. It was packed yesterday, and it was packed on Monday. It softly opened on Monday to friends and family, and it's been booming ever since. This has been one of the most anticipated retail openings this year, partly because it's in that old Dillard's
out there. Parking problem. Parking's always been a problem out of Siesta, and so they went out and the
Parking on Siesta Key is an ongoing problem. Earlier today, Sarasota County Commissioners discussed some of the ways that this problem could be handled during a workshop. ABC7's Rick Adams has details.
Parking on Siesta Key, especially here at Siesta Beach, can be a headache, especially during the season. Right now, Sarasota County Commissioners are looking at some possible solutions.
At times, finding a parking spot on Siesta Key can be next to impossible year-round and definitely during the busy season.
Everybody wants to go to the #1 beach in the nation and experience it, and there's...
My daughter goes there a lot. It's always been that way, and it's been that way since I was a little kid here in the 80s, so it doesn't surprise me. This story here did surprise me, and it's a lady. You can see her standing in her ditch, and she's upset because that area is not being cleaned. And what apparently happened is the county said, well, it's not being mowed.
Sarasota County recently passed an ordinance in 2016 that requires residents to maintain the right-of-ways adjacent to their property, although there are exceptions. ABC7's Haley Wilgus has more.
But I do not personally understand how the county can hold the homeowner accountable for that right-of-way. And here's why I say this: when you're out there, and if you're a politician or something, you put a sign up.
The sections of land surrounding Susan Kirkwood's home on 47th Street are not on her property. That land is owned by Sarasota County, but because of a code ordinance passed in 2016, she is now in charge of maintaining it.
I'm absolutely curious. I don't think it's right. I think they should really maintain all of the county.
So the county should be taking care of it, and I bet a lot of people would be surprised by that. Now, I do know somebody came on and said, well, you know what, that's your right of way. I haven't had that issue on mine, so interesting. Then I was just going to see if anyone's out there. I know Andrea and Lisa were there. I was going to ask what you guys thought about this whole Cub Scout co-ed thing. And this video just covered how a lot of individuals in Southwest Florida were talking about it, and they were giving their thoughts in on it. I think the Girl Scouts came out and said this is all about membership because the Cub Scouts membership is failing and it's dropping significantly, and they just did this to try to draw in more members and not to be politically correct, not to be this saint out there that wanted to bring everybody together. So I was going to see what your guys' thoughts are on it, and I haven't even read any of the postings. I don't even know if anyone commented on the wall, because you can actually comment on the wall down here. No, nobody's even commented on it. I don't even think people know they can comment on it. All right, the next thing is the homeless taking over Bee Ridge Park. You're seeing this a lot with a lot of individuals where the parks are being inundated with homeless individuals as we grow more and we see more of them coming in here. Some of them aren't the best. I got to tell you, up by Sarasota, I remember I do my radio show there. A lot of people were upset over by the Selby Library, which is right there by the bus station, and the little park there, and the homeless were doing a lot of spice. And one of my buddies used to be a security guard there, and he said they're all on spice. They beg for money, and a lot of them are horrendous. I know a lot of people will come out and say, look, these are people, they're down on their luck. Yeah, a lot of them are, but a large majority in that particular area, I don't know about this Bee Ridge area, are individuals that have chosen this lifestyle. They have chosen the drugs, the alcohol, or whatever, and they're out there. And a lot of times the perception, when you come up to an area and it's got trash all over, it's got beer all over, a lot of individuals, I can tell you, a lot of, especially elderly people, this lady's a grandmother, will bring their kids there, and it will scare them. They'll be a little concerned, and they won't want their kids hanging out there. And so, not sure if it's something that the county or Sarasota will address. I'm not sure if it's in the city, Bee Ridge, Park. I'm trying to think where that is. I don't know if it's in the city. Domestic battery. I put this up. It amazes me. You know, you're in that domestic battery awareness month, and you got this goofball up here that went up and decided to beat up a pregnant woman. And just in August, he was arrested and arraigned in September for assault, and now he's doing it again, but against someone that he knowingly knew was pregnant. And so just trying to bring that whole awareness to the issue, since it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month there. So unfortunate, very unfortunate. I mean, it's bad to hit a woman, but to hit them while they're pregnant, I don't get it. I don't know what the heck these guys are thinking sometimes. All right, we're going to take a look. Listen real quick to my Sutera Wellness Report. I can actually do this. Hold on. So we're going to listen to this Wellness Sutera Report, which is going to go into the hospital down in Northport and the medical marijuana dispensary that was just approved down there. So let's go ahead and do a quick listen to that. This is Frankie Abbruzzino with The Scoop News. Okay, Northport, I said yesterday that the city council was going to look at approving during the second reading a medical marijuana dispensary, and they went forward with it. It got a unanimous approval during the second reading for the ordinance that will permit that type of business in the area. A lot of people were happy, especially the new medical marijuana doctor, Dr. Farag, down in Northport. He just opened his clinic. I just said something about it the other day. It's called the Medical Marijuana Treatment Clinics of Florida. Right now in Northport, you have Sutera Holdings that's been looking at it, and you have Trulieve, which is up in Bradenton, looking at going there too to open up their dispensaries. In addition to that, you had some questions about the hospital, the initiative to bring a hospital within their city limits down there. Some concern with the task force wanting to eliminate the one that's owned by the Manatee Hospital. So that brought up some concerns, and they said, look, basically, if we got a hospital that's interested in coming here, we need to look at everything and not just not just toss them to the side or not even consider them potential candidates or bidders for a hospital here. So good things happening down north. All right. So I just saw some of your comments that they're not coming through, so I got to refresh. And I'm hoping my YouTube wasn't going off when I was talking, which I see that Kai said that. So I got to figure that out because it was silent here, but I know sometimes it can remain on the system. So thanks for telling me about that, Kai. If that's accurate, I'm assuming that's accurate. All right, let's go into the next one, and that involves the this goofball. I love saying the goofball, but this guy was captured. It was part of that whole sting to bring an end to the opioid abuse, and they were looking for a 12th person out in Northport, Christopher McCausland. They found the individual. This guy that was out there selling meth. He's out there dealing in pot. A lot of people say, it's just pot, not a big deal. The main part I have is with the meth, and if you look at his arrest record, arrested in June or July of last year, October, June of this year, August of this year, October this year, obviously the guy has an issue. Obviously, he's, I'm glad that the sheriff's cracking down on them. So we got all 12 individuals, which is a good thing. Not sure what this was here. Oh, this was this young lady. I feel bad for her. Somebody wrote me, and they were a little amazed that not as many people were giving to her GoFundMe project. This is the young lady. She goes to Venice High School. She's actually in one of my daughter's classes, and she was shot, I believe, in the face, and she's in recovery. She was she had a brother that was killed. That's a VHS graduate. A mother that was killed, and this was by the stepfather who also shot her. Right now, she's dealing with the loss of both those family members. She has her father by her side, but she's got a ton of bills and a lot of probably issues that she's going to be going through in the future. They're trying to set up a GoFundMe for the individual. I think I looked at it late yesterday, and there was over $2,000 raised for her. So they're out there, and they're proactively trying to get more money so that they can try to help this young lady through the trying times that she's going to have. So hopefully some people can help her out in it's just, like I said yesterday, it's just tragic all around, and you hate to see stuff like that. Oh! And that's what happens on a live show when someone comes into the house. Dino goes nuts. All right, so that's basically it with the show. I covered all the local news. Let me know what you think of the new concept. It's going to enable me to do some other stuff. I probably got to fine-tune some things. I got to work on some things. I got to see how. You know what I'm going to do? I'll do this. I have my phone up here so I could see comments, and it's obviously not refreshing. But what I might use is I actually have a laptop sitting right over here, too. And I can use that, and then I'll be able to see your comments, and I'll be able to, I can put an earpiece in, and I can listen to see what you guys are hearing if there's any issues. And so that'll make it a lot better for you guys, I think. That's it. So, this has been Frankie Abbruzzino with The Scoop News.